I work mostly in Europe and in Southeast Asia. I have big knowledge in the bank and insurance environment and government. I do large-scale transformation, but here today is about the developers. That's one part that I'm really interested on the transformation, and that mostly companies forget to address. The developers, most of the people see the developers as just people at the end of the stage, the guys that are making the operation and doing the software, and they are the least important people. But they are a mistake, because if you're doing a transformation, an agile transformation, or you want to be agile or doing agile, you need to think about the developers too. Because your success of your company, it's them too. And now, on these years, already that destiny, mostly all the company, their life is on the IT. If you remove the developers, most of the companies, they bankrupt and they close. So they need to be addressed too in the transformation. And yeah, they're working late, they're doing a lot of things, they're super crazy, they're passionate, some are passionate less, some are less. Me, for example, I'm not doing any software for production since probably 10 years, something like this, but I'm still doing software for myself, still learning new way, and I'm still coaching people on different development practice. So I don't want to make that presentation around a guy that I like, Master, the Master Jedi. Yeah, he's going to teach us how to be a professional developers. The word professional developers come from one of the book of Martin Fowler, Uncle Bob, on his book, not Clean Code, but No, it was another one. They put now always together with the Clean Code. I think it's the Clean Coder or something like this. And he say, we need to be a professional developers, and everyone. So how to be it? So if we come back a little bit and we follow a little bit the story of improvement in development, there's a guy, I really like it, it's Ken Beck. In '96, he started a project, I think it was on Chrysler company. He started projects and he applied practice, and he found out about extreme programming. Later in '99, he come out with his book, Extreme Programming Explained It. At that time, I was in the studio, I was learning computer software. I read this book. I like it somehow, but I was really saying, hey, writing tests before coding? Come on, it's not working. So I was a little bit doubtful on this, so I say, nah, it's not gonna work. And it passed a few years before I tried it. Then 2001, some guys went on the mountain and they created the Agile Manifesto. And they say, okay, we can make software, good software oriented for the customers, and so on and so on. And we know what's happened in the story is that the bad guy is still there, even after Agile Manifesto was created. People started to say, okay, we're going to implement Scrum, we're going to implement Crystals, Group, or whatever, any Agile practice, but on the process, but the developers side was still doing shit. And even now it's even more worse, because company that is trying to scale the IT found out that this guy, the developers, did crappy code and try to scale a project when you have crappy code is nearly impossible. So Dark Force was still there. And then in 2008, 2009, two communities came out. The DevOps And the craftsmanship. I'm more part of the craftsmanship because for me, DevOps, only one reason to exist is because company decided to split the IT and the operation. They say operation is one side and the developers another side have no communications, have no right to see the production. When I was a software developer, and I was doing nested programming starting 2006, 2004, 2006, we were doing the software from A to Z. So we were doing the analyze, we were doing the software, and we were delivering production. There was no need to DevOps. We were doing continuous delivery. I was doing continuous delivery with an extreme programming team in 2008, something like this. And we were not talking about DevOps. So DevOps come out because company decided to split. And that's why Patrick and Andrew say, hey, we need to do something. It's wrong how to think on this. And they have a really good marketing because the guys here, Uncle Bob created a little bit about craftsmanship with, there was the pragmatic book, it was his book, Clean Code and so on. And then a few years later, Sandro Mancuso come with the craftsmanship coder. Their community, it's really about being a software developers at the best. And everything they do here is what we found on DevOps too. Even more than the DevOps. Because here DevOps is a lot oriented on the tools, at least companies are selling DevOps with the tools, and it's not the case of the craftsmanship. Here in Dubai, I tried to look if there was any thinking about software craftsmanship. I saw one paper on LinkedIn of a guy that was talking about software craftsmanship in Dubai, but not much less than this. There was a kind of DevOps in 2016 in Dubai, and there was a presentation about craftsmanship at that time. But mostly, DevOps practice, it's what we hear mostly in Dubai. So, if you look to Agile Manifesto, very nice, you say a lot of good things. But if you look on what the guys from craftsmanship came, you say, individual and interaction, it's good, but also well-crafted software. Yeah, it's good the interaction between the people. But what's important is you make a well-crafted software. Yeah. Working software, yeah, it's good. But you need to make something that brings value to the customers. Having something working, anyone can do it. But making something that have value to the customers, much harder. Sorry. Customer collaboration, yes, but a community of profession. People working together, much more better. And respond to change, yes, but productive partnership, it's even better. We work as partner with the customers. That's very nice. It's hard. I made 4 or 5 years ago, I created an outsourcing company in Vietnam. So we had a lot of customers. Some customers came to us because we were doing agile extreme programming. And some other customers came to us to say, okay, we want fixed development, fix everything. And I would say to them, yeah, okay, you can go work to the other company there because we want to work as a partner, not just making any shit for you. We had the power on this. So, after all this community learned on how to bring new way of working, improving way of working. That is like if you have the DevOps or the craftsmanship, it's quite similar. The mindset is similar. So one thing is very important. Delivering what the user wants. That is important. You need to focus on this. You need to deliver what the user wants, not what you think is sexy to do on your software. First is this. You do a software that you can release, and that you have the possibility to bring new value on it continuously. If you stop, you have problems. If you look on mostly of the software being built all this year, more and more years you pass, and more it costs to bring new value on it. So you need to think about doing a software on a way that even if you add new things after 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, it doesn't change the cost. It's always the same cost. You try to have a flat. So you have practice like microservices that came out, and there are others. One good book that came out just now from Uncle Bob is the Clean Architect, Clean Architecture. Recommend to read that book. It's really good. And of course, you need to automate everything. Because as software developers, what's important for them is to deliver value, not doing monkey job. Some people love to do the monkey job. I don't know why, but me, I prefer to create value on the products. And so one of the first things we do when we start a project with my teams is we put in place continuous delivery on whatever tools. It could be Atlassian, it could be Jenkins, it was TeamCity and whatever. But the continuous delivery is the first thing, because it's going to allow us to know always how is going the software, what we are building, if we are creating bugs or we're creating value. It's all monitors, live monitors. It's like when you go to the hospital, they put the monitors on you. If they turn off the monitors, they don't know if you're alive or dead. They're the same. For developers, it's the same here. Go faster. So you need to have feedback, frequent feedback. Scrum practice say between 2 and 4 weeks. In extreme programming, we say 1 to 4 weeks. If I look on, it's called Nano Scrum, it's every 3 days. Or you can do every days. If you have continuous delivery, you can have feedbacks every days. One of my first big project we did with extreme programming, we worked for a Forex company. It was in Dubai too. I think it was, I remember it was in Marina. We were working in the Forex. 30 seconds of downtime of the software, millions of dollars lost. So we cannot risk anything. But we did it, continuous delivery, no problem, every day is deliver. Forex asked the market to be very fast, so we were fast. No issue in this. So, short iteration. Extreme programming is coming with different shorts, and you can have short iteration just by coding. You know which practice you can use for having a very fast feedback? What's agile development practice that allow you to have very fast feedback? No idea? Nah, Scrum is going to give you a feedback after 2 weeks. Yeah, maybe every day with the daily stand-up. I want even faster. Every second I could know. But let's say 10, 20 seconds to have time. If you write test, unit test is good. But if you're coding, you design the code by the test, by doing TDD, you get feedback very fast. While you're coding, you know if you broke something immediately. It's very fast. And then, of course, pair programming. It's really good too. It allows you to be very, very fast too. You have a guy near you that say to you when you did something stupid. That's the faster way. You have the review, automatic, but review. Sorry. We talk about this later. So coding feedback, GUnit, testing, everything like this. So the TDD. TDD is really, really important. In some company, now you have no right to do any production code if you don't write any unit test before. TDD is mandatory. Not only in the UK or US, but I saw some outsourcing company in Asia, they're using TDD. Me, for example, I cannot work anymore without doing TDD before. It's a nonsense for me. Because TDD is not just about testing. With the TDD, you design your code. So the production code is just there to validate that your test is correct. And at the same time, you write your documentation. When I need to look the code of someone else, first things I look to the test to understand what was the intention of the class, of the component, and so on and so on. So very, very important. You can start to use TDD on very small things like business classes, and then little bit after little bit do more. Automate acceptance test, important too. Doing unit tests is good, but if you know that you did the right things, it's even better. One of the good practices we have in craftsmanship and extreme programming is that we write first the automation test. So we try to see what we want, what we expect to have. And then we start to write the code by doing TDD. And then validate with the automation test that we exactly deliver what was expected. So as I say, you measure the real progress. But other things, you need to have clean code. If your code is bad, it's hard to maintain. You should think that your code is just like a book. If a book is right, it's not clear to read it, mostly your book go to the trash. So the code should be the same. If it's bad writing, not clear to understand, the business models are not clear, you use just letters, A, B, A, C, that have no meaning, it's hard. Don't do just for someone else, do it for you too. Because if, 5 minutes, I don't like it. If you go after a few months back to your code, if you didn't make clear, it's going to be really hard. Baby step, one of the values the most important when you're doing software. Baby step, do small stuff. On some of my trainings, I sometimes have guys that want to do everything without doing TDD because they think they're super good. So I give them exercise and mathematical exercise that are very hard to do in one step. And they try after to do by baby step. Otherwise, impossible. You look just a mathematician. Did you see any mathematician trying to resolve a mathematical problem in one step? Never. Said you do baby step. It's the same. Do it simple. I will go faster. Solids, that's fast. Because, oh yes. Architect that doesn't write code, for me, are bullshit. Sorry if there are some architects here. How an architect can say to the developers which frameworks they need to use if they never try it. They just see somewhere in a newspaper or whatever, in a magazine or on internet. They need to code, to try what they try. And more especially, the architect should help the team to achieve their goal and not just say to them what they need to do. What's important too, it's being a mentor. Teach to others what you know. Here is, I'm there. Here, that's some friends. We did this, I think it was in one of the universities in Vietnam. You need to review your code. That's very important. Review the code is not about controlling if you did good things or bad things. Review the code allows you to learn too. From other people, they will teach you, they will say, okay, hey, you should not do like this, you should be better like this, and so on and so on. There are great tools, like here, I think it's Crucible from Atlassian, but JetBrains has its tools, and there are from some free tools on other software. Or you can do review code face-to-face. Keep other informed, that's important. So pair programming, and always try to do more programming. I have more than 2 persons working, like 4 or 5 people working on the same story, at the same times. I started to see this on the company I'm currently coaching. They're starting to do more programming. And even if you don't believe it, it's much faster. You just need to try it. Yeah, you try it. And what we did we did it just this more programming in story. They were complex story. A simple story, no. There's no reason to do this. For complex story, it has a reason. Practice. Try to have some slack time on your company to practice any programming. Practice is very important. And here are some books if you want to read it. Clean Architecture, the one I just told you, is very interesting. It's the last book from Uncle Bob. Refactoring is an interesting one. Phoenix Project is good for DevOps stuff. That's the book from Sandro. It will be good to bring Sandro in Dubai. I know he's traveling, he's giving speech everywhere. We bring in Vietnam, and it was very fun and very interesting to talk with the kind of person. Ken Beck and Uncle Bob, they can give a remote presentation. I think they're not traveling anymore, for example. It's the end. Bon. It's not working anymore. No, it's the end. Okay, so that's it. Thank you. Any question?
How do you deal with the competences in the team is different? When there's junior programmers and the senior programmers?
So junior and senior is very good to put together. What we try to do is mostly that we try to make that the seniors teach the basic step to a junior. So then the juniors are working on tasks that are for the senior are simple, but for the junior are more complicated. So they can discharge the team and they can work together. It's mostly like that. Yeah. You use the Shuari practice principle. Yeah. Anything else? No? Okay. Thank you.